So we are just a couple of days away from the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC update in GTA Online, and that is why in today's video we are going to be having one final run for earning cash before the new update, so you have enough money for all the new content. If you would like to see more GTA Online content, especially around the DLC, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and without further ado, let's go. So let's kick things off with the salvage yard robberies. I'm just going to remind you guys there are 3 in total. You can claim one of these vehicles, the Itali GTOs, so I would recommend claiming the vehicle if you don't own it. If you want the extra cash, then go and sell it. You only get 3 of these each week, and this is going to expire come Tuesday, so be sure to take advantage of an easy $1 million. Next up in the salvage yard still, there is 2 times money on the wall safe, and if you're unfamiliar, this will pay you 24k typically each day in GTA, but this week it's going to be paying 48k per day, and all you need to do is go and salvage a couple of vehicles with the tow truck business. So that is a great way to passively have some money building in the background. I would also recommend going around to all of your businesses that do hold wall safes and collecting money on the daily, and if you're unfamiliar with the nightclub, then get the full popularity bar and you will profit 50k per day. You can either do this by throwing a troublemaker out of the club, rebooking a DJ, or running promotion missions for the club. Underrated, but this is quite a fun one. It's the LS tourist board, which you can approach each day. Press right on the D-pad if you're on console, and there will be 3 different animals that you will need to go and photograph each day to earn some additional cash. So this only happens once every real life day, but you will be rewarded with $40,000 after taking a photo of each animal, and upon completion of all 3, you will be rewarded with an additional $80,000. This is a great way to profit $200,000 additional each day, and I'll leave a link in the description to find the locations of all of these animals listed. I'm gonna be that guy to remind you, but take advantage of this time trial. The HSW for this week, just start it up by pressing right D-pad, go to the minimap and select the waypoint, then just go to your phone, quit the job, and then press right D-pad to start the time trial up once again. It's really easy this week. You can just follow the waypoint and hit the finish line with a reward of $250,000. Now the regular time trial for this week, Galileo Park, is a little bit more complex. Just follow the route I am taking for this first part of the time trial, and once you get through the first part, you should get a sweet run to the end. Again, using the same method as the HSW time trial where we set a waypoint, but through this point here, you just want to go full pelt and go over the hills here, and eventually try and either make it over that railing there or onto the road. It doesn't really matter either way, and from this point, just follow the waypoint all the way through to the end, and you can see I did come off the motorcycle and I still finished with plenty of time in hand. Upon completion, you'll be rewarded with $100,000, and moving on, we have the RC Bandito time trial, which we cannot forget about. This is going to profit you an extra 50k, and after that, I would recommend going and completing the Junk Energy time trial, which these 2 time trials are very underrated, but it is an easy way to profit an extra $100,000. So the next method to the madness here is the Cluckenbell Farm Raid. We cannot neglect this, especially if you're a beginner and you don't really own too many businesses. The time trials are going to help you, and especially the Cluckenbell Farm Raid, as you can run this heist as a level 1 player. My biggest tips for the setup missions is I would recommend using an armored Kuruma. They're fairly cheap to pick up. If you don't own one, just try and run them as best as you can. And when it comes to the targets, I would recommend the Marabunte equipment for the weapon loadout, and I would go for Target C as your escape vehicle. When you're leaving the chicken factory, just take the route up Mount Chiliad into the hill and eventually make your way to the train tracks, and upon completion, you'll be rewarded with 500k. Moving on, if you own an auto shop, I would recommend running the Union Depository contract. This is a really easy and efficient way to make some extra profits, and the weapon loadout, I recommend going with the Hustler. Some tips for the finale: once you have stolen the gold and you are escaping the Union Depository, I would try and make your way to the left side of the building here, and you will see a few cop vehicles on the outside. Typically there will be a couple that spawn in, so you should be able to enter those and drive away. You could try and just get the escape vehicle and then make your way to this point on screen, and you will see the chopper, which you can get into and easily just fly it to the client to deliver the gold, and upon completing this, you will receive a pretty fair amount of $270,000. Now, if everything you've seen so far isn't enough, this is a big one I would recommend for this week in particular. Before the DLC, if there's any unwanted vehicles, I would recommend just going and selling them at Los Santos Customs. In this scenario, I claimed the Itali GTO for free, so I went and sold the one I originally had for $1.3 million. Ladies ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got. If you enjoyed and want to stay up to date for the DLC, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video.